Hi everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to Broken Sword Reforged. It's been a little while, hasn't it? For those of you who don't know, we recently had our second child, so we've got a baby in the house. And these off-schedule recordings, I've just not had time to make them, basically. I will make them as and when I can, but you know, they're going to be pretty erratic, I think, for the near future. But we will still be continuing on and playing this game. I'm looking forward to playing it. I'm enjoying it a lot. But yeah, time is a bit short, so expect them to be a little bit...
didn't contain anything else I needed.
Sporadic, I think, for the time being. Anyway, on we go. I think we have to speak to Nico next, don't we? Because we found some things.
Bonjour, Collard.
It's me again, George Stobbart.
Hi, George. Any news?
You bet. I met a witness who spoke to the clown. And I know where the killer gets his suits.
No kidding. Hey, I'm impressed.
You are? Well, it wasn't easy.
No.
Look, why don't you come here to my apartment?
Fine. Where do you live?
361 Rue Jarry.
Okay, I'll come right over.
Alright, looks like we're going to meet Nico, so let's head this way. Should now, I believe, be on our map. Yeah, there we go. Right, let's head over. Oh, this place looks great, doesn't it? Alright, let's have a look in the shop window.
The shop window featured a display of gowns and women's stuff. It wasn't the style of the clothes in the shop that caught my eye, but the prices. The same amount of money would feed a starving family for the rest of their lives. I guess people who buy that kind of stuff don't have a problem with their consciences.
Yeah, probably. Okay, we've got a flower seller here.
The woman was doing something with a pair of needles that couldn't be described as knitting. She was a cheery old soul, the kind you'd walk across the street to avoid.
Oh, come on, George, let's go and speak to her. Got some nice flowers and everything here as well. Another shop that's closed.
Oh, hi.
Bonjour, monsieur. Would you like me to foretell your future?
No thanks.
I'm very good, and it only takes a minute.
Thanks all the same, but I'm not superstitious.
No, we're not.
Besides, if it only takes a minute, that's not much of a future to look forward to.
Let's ask about flowers.
Are the flowers for sale?
Oui, monsieur.
Okay. I'll take a bunch of those white ones.
I wouldn't do that if I was you.
No?
They are lilies, monsieur. Some people associate them with death.
Yeah.
Yikes. Thanks for telling me.
Okay, any more things?
What other flowers do you have?
Dahlias?
What do they signify?
Insecurity.
I don't want to give her the wrong idea about me.
No, we don't.
What about the tall yellow ones?
Those are iris, the flame of passion.
And the little yellow ones?
Sensuality.
Well, they're no use to me. I want to make an impression, not jump down her throat.
Let's ask about Nico.
Do you know a young woman called Nico Collard?
Yes, I do. She lives upstairs from me, in the apartment block across the street. The door isn't locked, but you'll need to give it a gentle nudge.
Okay.
It sticks, you see, because of the damp.
We don't need your life story,
The
thank you.
landlord said he'd fixed it before winter sets in. He's been saying that for 3 years.
I think we might need to do something about that.
How long has Mademoiselle Collard lived here?
A few months. She's in for a shock when the cold weather comes. Drafty windows, insufficient heating. It's a struggle to keep warm. The only reason I stay is because the rent is cheap.
It's probably a reason for
Your
that.
young lady, she deserves better.
Alright.
I thought Mademoiselle Collard was a successful photographer.
Not as successful as she makes out for all her fine clothes.
Ooh.
Oh, I've heard her crying herself to sleep at night.
That's awful.
Now, don't you let on that I've told you. She's proud, that one. Too proud, if you ask me.
Well, we didn't ask you, actually.
I've changed my mind. Will you tell my fortune?
You're going on a long journey.
My, oh my. What a surprise. Can you tell me anything I don't already know?
10 francs, please, my dear.
10 francs? That's a rip-off.
That is a rip-off.
Please yourself.
Can we pay for it?
How does this fortune-telling routine work?
If I knew that, I wouldn't be selling flowers for a living.
Haven't you ever wondered why you were blessed with the gift?
Well, it's a bit like satellite television, I suppose. Some of us are born with a built-in receiver dish.
Fine.
I just happen to be one of the lucky ones.
Take your word for it.
Can you really foretell the future?
Only time will tell, monsieur. The strange thing is, I can't seem to see myself in the future. Other people, I have no problem. But when I try to see what might happen to me, nothing.
That must be scary.
Maybe. I figure it's a kind of natural safety mechanism.
Yeah.
Either that, or I don't have a future.
Well, I mean, we come across you again in Broken Sword 5, so I think you'll be fine.
What can you tell me about this material?
It's a very expensive piece of cloth, monsieur.
Okay, what can you tell me about this nose?
Do you recognize this nose?
No, monsieur.
Do you want to see this mouldy old tissue?
What can you tell me about this tissue?
Nothing?
Oh, well, what about this?
What do you make of this tool?
Is it something a dentist would use?
God, I hope
No,
not.
it's for raising manhole covers.
Formidable.
Could you imagine a dentist using that?
See you later.
That's right, monsieur. You will.
We will. It's like a fruit shop here as well. That's quite nice.
It was a food store selling fruit and vegetables. The vacant shop was sealed with a steel blind.
Nice. All right, well, she said the door just needs a nudge, right? So let's go and nudge the door.
The door was shabby and in need of a coat of paint.
Well, that's
I
not our
couldn't
job.
imagine the Collard woman living here.
Well, that's your
Remembering the flower seller's advice, I pushed the door gently just above the lock.
problem. And we're in. I seem to remember that if you try and do that without speaking to her, you actually can't open the door. We're just showing ourselves in, apparently.
Bonjour. I'm glad you could make it, monsieur.
Please, call me George.
Yeah.
Fine. I'm Nicole. Take a seat, George.
Nice apartment.
Eh bien? And what have you been up to?
I've been exploring the sewers beneath the cafe.
I thought I could smell something bad.
The clown used the sewer to escape and to change out of his costume. I guess he was in a hurry. He left his jacket behind.
And?
I got his tailor's phone number. What's more, I know where he hired the clown suit, too.
You had better luck than I did.
Luck, she said. Luck! Hard work, I'd call it. What happened?
I took my photographs to the editor, but he wasn't interested. Can you believe it? He told me to drop his story.
But you're not about to do that.
Oh, no. I am going to find out what's behind these killings. You know what I think? It's a conspiracy.
Maybe.
The police in 3 different countries have kept very quiet about the murders. The press don't connect them at all. They blame them on political, religious, or militant minority extremists.
That covers just about everyone.
Okay, let's go through some of these things.
I found a piece of material near the cafe. When I showed it to the concierge, he recognized it right away.
It's very distinctive, all right. Just wait until you see this. I developed the film I shot at the cafe. Here, George, it's an enlargement I made.
Aha!
Look what that guy's wearing.
Checkered pants. The same material as I found in the sewer.
That's right. This guy shouldn't be difficult to find.
Oh no?
Take a close look at his left cheek.
A scar. In the shape of a horseshoe.
Oh, a crescent moon.
Alright.
How come you enlarged this photograph of me?
Because I noticed the guy behind you, of course.
Yeah, George. Don't get any ideas. Do you like this tissue?
I found this tissue down the sewer.
Oh, that's disgusting, George.
Oh, just thought you wanted to
I
see
think
it.
the stuff on it is grease paint. Like actors use. Or clowns.
It's still disgusting. Get rid of it.
I don't want to.
I found this false nose in the sewer. It has La Risée du Monde printed inside it.
The laughing stock of the world. It's a costume shop near the Gare Saint-Lazare.
I'll check it out. Maybe the owner remembers who hired the clown costume.
Why don't you put it on, George?
No way am I wearing this. I'd look really stupid.
Come on, George.
Besides, you might have had a cold.
One thing I just want to check is, was this in the original? This looks different. Oh, it was. Although oh my god, look how pixelated it was. Yeah, look, it was, but actually it's more detailed with more actual clothes-looking things rather than what looks like towels back then. Yeah, it just looks so sharp and nice, doesn't it, all of this? Okay, let's ask about Nico.
You speak very good English for a French girl.
Thanks. You speak very good English for an American.
Tell me more about yourself.
Oh, there is not much to tell.
Well, how did you get into photography?
I guess I owe that to my father. He bought my first camera. I was 8 and my parents had just split up.
Okay.
Did you live with your father?
Yes, my mother went off with her new boyfriend. I don't mind. Papa was all I needed. 4 years later, he died in a plane crash.
Ah.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's all right. I don't mind talking about him. He was more like an older brother, really. Always joking and laughing. Papa always wanted I should study art. That's why I went to college.
Did you learn about photography at college?
Oh, God, no. I couldn't afford the materials. We were billed for everything we used. Paint, canvas, paper. Most of my year turned to minimalism. It was cheaper. I used to go poaching in the park for squirrel hair. The only time I wasn't hungry was the term I did printing. I used to eat the potatoes.
You're making fun of me, aren't you?
Oh, no.
Do you have a boyfriend?
That's none of your business.
Yeah, George, that's none of your business.
How did Plantaw get your name?
For the newspaper, La Liberté, I'd written an article linking two unsolved murders, one in Italy and the other in Japan. The cases were remarkably similar. A wealthy victim, no apparent motive, and a costume killer. Plantaw said he could supply me with more information. Somehow, the clown must have known about our appointment.
Very interesting.
Tell me more about the clown's previous victims.
The first was Arno Bellotta, the millionaire pharmaceutical baron. He made his money from amphetamines in the post-war slimming and diet boom. Imagine it! Millions of housewives literally speeding their butts off.
Was he killed for his money?
No. He had no living relatives, and his fortune went to the orphanage where he grew up. The only witness in the case was his Filipino au pair. She swears he was led to his death by a snowman.
Snowman?
What about the clown's second victim?
Yamada, the controversial Japanese green politician. He inherited his fortune from his father's electrochemical consortium. He was committed to dismantling Japan's automobile industry.
I can't see him gaining much support with a loony policy like that.
Yamada was a man of vision. He was years ahead of his time.
If you say so. How did he die?
At the end, or should I say, flippers, of a giant emperor penguin.
It's almost comical, isn't it?
A snowman, a penguin, and now a clown. You know, I hate to admit it, but this is scary.
Is it?
And I'll tell you what, I won't be accepting any invitations to costume parties.
I don't blame you for being scared. I am too. This story could be my only chance of a big break.
Or a premature death. May I use your telephone?
Sure, go ahead.
Thanks.
Okay, so we've now got a thing about that. We've got this, we've got the address. Join forces with Nico. Okay, so we've got Todrick and we've got this Salah ad-Din thing. Nico's number, and we've got this address here. So, do you want to call Todrick?
Hello? Who is this? Hi. My name's George Stobbart. You don't know me.
Correct, Mr. Stobbart. I don't. What can I do for you?
Well, I'm trying to trace one of your customers. Could I maybe come over and talk to you?
No. No, that's not possible.
Oh, okay. Forget it. Listen, all I want is a name.
What are you talking about? Who are you working for?
I guess you might say I'm acting in the interests of truth and justice.
Ah, thank God. I thought you were the police.
There are innocent lives at stake, Mr. Todrick. Lives that you could save.
You're collecting for charity, yes?
No, I'm not. All I want from you is information.
Go on. I'm listening.
Okay, let's ask about Plantar.
Do you know a guy called Plantar?
No, I never heard of him.
Okay.
Did you make a suit for a man with a scar on his face? A scar in the shape of a crescent moon?
Maybe. Maybe not.
Tell me where I can find him and I'll leave you alone.
And if I don't,
I won't leave you alone.
Yeah,
I
self-explanatory.
can't tell you anything unless you give me his name.
Fine, we don't know his name.
What do you know about the clown who bombed the Café de la Chandelle Verte?
I don't have no idea what you're talking about.
You're cool, Todrick. But I think you know more than you're saying.
I don't know who you be, but sure I am you don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know if you're saying that to make me think you don't know what I mean, but oh, this is ridiculous. Quit playing games with me, Todrick.
I tell you, I know nothing about no clown.
Fine. You sure you don't know about the guy?
Do you know where I can find the guy with the scar?
I told you. Without a name, I can't help you.
Alright, well we need to find a name.
Shall I tell you what happened to Plantar? How he was killed in cold blood?
I told you, I never heard of Plantar.
Alright.
Did you know that one of your customers was a part-time clown?
If a guy feels happy with a funny nose and custard down his pants, what's the problem?
Alright.
I expect Plantar's a family man, don't you? In their little apartment, Madame Plantar is cooking the supper, listening for the familiar sound of her husband's key in the door. Junior is waiting for his daddy to come home from work. He can't wait to show him the merit marks he earned in school today. Only tonight, Monsieur Plantar won't be coming home.
You forgot the puppy.
Huh?
The faithful puppy dog, waiting for the sound of his master's voice.
Well, maybe they don't have a dog. What do you think?
I don't know Plantar. I never heard of Plantar. None of this has anything to do with me.
He's on to us and our tactics, isn't he?
Thanks for nothing, Todrick.
Alright, well, that didn't really help matters, did it? So, let's stand
I'm going
up.
back out to search for that clown.
Where?
I guess I could visit the costume shop.
Yeah,
Good idea.
that's what we're going to do. We're going to visit the costume shop. That will be our next plan of action. We need to find a name. That's going to be what we need. But guys, we will do that in the next episode because we're out of time. I'm really enjoying playing this again. It's making me very, very excited for Broken Sword 6 as well, which I cannot wait for. So as always, thank you very much for watching. A big thank you to our patrons, Arcades Games, Wayne, Nate, Tony Nerdy, Paul from the Phantom Fellows, Lyle, Hobo, Numinous, Kumadim, Paulione, Flossy the Sheep, JohnCon555, Chrissy, Paul James, and Zoltes, and I'll see you next time.